Everyone, you're watching VGO 40 and this is VGO Girl, and today we're talking about World of Kings and we're looking at the Order Shrine dungeon in Overlord mode. So we're going to go ahead and go through this. We're going to skip through a lot of the beginning mobs and go right to the first boss. Okay, this first boss is not overly impressive or anything. You just go and attack him. There is one special kind of attack that he does where he puts your teammates in a rock tomb that you have to break. But other than that, this boss is really kind of easy. You just avoid the areas you're supposed to avoid and break through the rock tomb. So I'm not going to really spend much time going through him. Okay, I really love this second boss. It's got to be one of my favorites. So let's move along to them. There's two attacks. One is this kind of darker message over your head that tells you to move away from your teammates. So when you see this message here, you move away from your other teammates. So that's fine. Just, watch for that. The more interesting part of this boss is when you get the other message about the crystals above your heads. So this message about the crystals, you want to gather everybody together. It works best if you pile everybody kind of on top of each other that has the message. Now to start with, only one person has this message about crystals. But as the fight goes on, more and more people get it. And what happens is, once the message disappears, a crystal appears where the person is. And the crystal will have all these purple bubbles come out that will do damage to everybody. But the boss does this area of effect cone of damage you just saw, and if you line the crystals up inside that cone of damage, then it takes out all the crystals and you don't get any damage, any attacks from the boss from these purple bubbles. So it is great if you can get everybody kind of to pile on each other. So here again, we're going to stay away from each other with these purple rings, and then I'll fast forward and get that crystal message again. Okay, again through this section, just avoid AoE damage. And then we're back to doing the crystal message. Here there's 3 people. So see, we're all gonna try and pile up as close as possible, at least line up the crystals. Now I have to pull the boss, the tank has to pull the boss over and face the crystals so that when the cone of damage appears, which will be in 1 second, that it will hit all 3 crystals and take them all out. So there you see that the cone of damage is over all 3 crystals. When she does her attack, they all go down. Okay, again during this middle section, just avoid all the crazy AoE damage and those purple circles that come around you. Stay kind of towards the center of the boss. I find that some of the circle ones are better. You just got to avoid it as best as possible. But here we've got a lot more people, you'll see, with the crystal message above their heads. And we've got the crystals, so I'm really going to have to pull the boss back a bit to line it up better. Okay, lining up the crystals here is a little harder, and this is a really good show of why you want to keep everybody piled together with those crystals. So here we have 1 crystal off to the side. Now it's right at the end, and it's only 1, so it's not a big deal, but we'll show you. Oh, I guess I missed 2. But see how these purple bubbles start coming out? And there's a lot of them. So you can imagine if there's a lot of crystals up, you're trying to avoid all these things that are causing damage, it gets really hard really fast. So the other run I did of this, which I thought I got, we kept it together the whole time. We never had 1 purple bubble come up. So it was beautiful. So just kind of watch for that, and the crystals are really important. Okay, so this third boss for me was kind of challenging. I'm gonna be honest, we didn't finish it, but it was only because we had really low DPS. We had a really awesome group that worked great following the directions and everything. Okay, so first off, there's this yellow circle that goes around you all the time with the arrows where everybody's supposed to gather in together. This boss is a little different. Only the people with the message above their heads are supposed to gather in the circle. So you have to watch for the message above your head and then run to the people who have that circle around you if you have the message. If you don't, stay away. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second is they get this blue shield around the boss, and it says to stop attacking the boss. If you have auto attack on, like you can see here, everybody's gonna die. It's just going to happen. It's awful when people do that. Turn auto attack off on this boss. I wiped several times because people just didn't know to turn off auto attack. Okay, so this time, no auto attack, everybody backs up, and look, we're all totally fine. Yay! Okay, the other thing with this boss is you need to pull the mobs on the two sides to the opposite sides of the zone. So kind of there's this color pattern on the floor. I generally pull the blue ones over to the yellow side and the yellow ones over to the blue side. So here we're trying to pull the mobs. They go so slow. So sometimes it really helps if you've got like an archer or something, or some other DPS class that helps kind of pull them around. Now this time was a little bit of a mess, but you know, get those mobs off to the side and kill them. And then from there, you know, now sometimes here you'll have to move these mobs away from the boss because you can't attack the boss and just kill the mobs still. That's fine. And that you can go ahead and do that. Okay, so that's kind of really it for this boss. I mean, you just avoid the attacking him when it says to stop attacking him. Avoid a couple small area of effect attacks on the floor. You know, all come together inside the yellow when it says to come together. And pull the mobs to the opposite ends of the zones and kill them when you see to do that. Honestly, the problem we ran into with this group was that we had really low DPS. And because we had really low DPS, I guess there's a timeout on the boss. And once the boss reached a certain time, he rampaged and just killed us all in like 5 seconds, if it was even that long. So just, you know, that is a problem. If you don't have enough DPS, you're not going to pass the boss. So, you know, just, you know, try your best and pull those mobs to the other side and take out this boss if you can. All right, you're watching VGO40, and this is VGO Girl, and we hope that you found this interesting and helpful, and we will see you in game.